Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we get going with today's video, I just want to give a quick mention to a tractor run which takes place this Sunday, 9th of July. So it's this coming Sunday. It's the Roach Tractor Run. It's in aid of, or proceedings are going towards Northloud Hospice, so it's a good charity to support. The tractor run itself takes place 2 p.m, leaving Roach club rooms, and I think registration is between 1 and 1:30, so you want to be there before 1:30 really to get registered, and kicking off then leaving at 2 p.m. And it goes on a nice trip around the local area, and then finishes up then at Kilcurry Resource Centre, where I think there's some refreshments. So yeah, if you can support it, please do. It's in aid of a good charity, and yeah, very much appreciated. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So as you can see, we have the tanker on today. This is the field that we topped a couple of days ago. We have got a batch of bulls grazing in the field here right beside where I have topped. Those bulls are coming home either this evening or tomorrow because we're almost out of grass here. There's 2 paddocks for them to graze. Happens every year. You can put about 13-14 animals to it, and what happens is they run out of grass once you get close to July, and the growth usually starts to slow back. We take them home. The 2 paddocks here then are allowed to recover, and they come back here in about a fortnight, 3 weeks time, and they get the rest of the year basically here, and then on the silage ground as well they can get in. There's one of our fields of silage here beside it. When the second that comes off it, it gets added into the mix as well, and they can graze it for a bit as well. So they're coming home later on, but I want to get this slurried. Some rain is falling, and there's showers due to fall all day, so we want to get this out on it now today, and we'll get it growing, and then we'll slurry whenever they come off that. I'll slurry that again, or fertilise it, one or the other, over the next day or so. It's a balancing act, just trying to keep the grass growing at the minute, but yeah, it's all part of it. Alright, we're going well. We've that side done and dusted, and we have the arrival of Ben. He's come and he's just topping this field here where the cattle were on. There was a few bits of long grass in it, a couple of bits of shot out docks that just needed taken care of, and we topped them off it, and yeah, at least it'll grow back nice and even. So first side is all slurried. Second side I have a load on it already, so there's a couple of runs up along this stitch and a few different runs down there, and then when he is that finished we'll put another couple of runs on this here as well. The cattle, these are all reared calves. You can see they're in great form and enjoying the sport here of having the tractors in the field. They're just running around the place after you. So yeah, I'm very friendly. They're really, really easy to move. If only they were all like these guys. You call them with a bucket and they'll run onto the trailer for you. But the downside of it is that they think that it's all fun and games with the tractor on top of. You can see the trailer now just running around it, which is a little bit comical. But yeah, get it slurried, and at least these couple of bits will be done, and we get on to the next job. Alright, so we've moved on from slurrying and topping, and we're now in the throes of spraying. And this is kind of the way this video is going to be. We're going to be chopping from just different things, one thing to another, just basically what's going on or what we're doing on the farm this week. We are spraying our winter wheat, which is starting to colour quite nicely. Looks like it is quite good yield wise, but look, it is hard to tell. But there looks to be plenty of heads there, and yeah, it looks to be doing quite well. But we will know. We'll know better when you put the combine into it. That's when you really know. just depending on how fast the combine can go and how quick that bin is filling up. But yeah, it looks to be doing quite well. This is one of the fields that there was potatoes in it last year, so yeah, it's nice and fresh for the wheat, and yeah, as I say, it looks to be doing well, but we will see. The winter barley, we will have a look at it now in a few minutes. Some of it is just here at the other side of this field. You can see it off in the distance, and it looks to be basically ripe. So I haven't seen it it's about a week and a half since I've seen it. So it looks to have coloured an awful lot in the last week or so. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, final spray, as I say, on the wheat, it is just a fungicide spray. So yeah, it's just to keep it right on that front. But yeah, we'll have a look at the barley now in a second. Alright, so I've just finished doing the bit of spraying on the winter wheat, and I come out in the winter barley just to see how it's doing, how it's looking. And the answer to that is it's looking like it's getting very close. There's a little bit of green. You can see it just in an odd stem there. There's a bit of green still showing up, but overall a lot of it has started to colour. I'd say if we got another week or so, or just over a week around us, and we got a bit of sunshine, a bit of dry weather, this will come in very, very quick. Looks well. Looks like it's gonna. This field looks like it's gonna yield pretty well. The different thing about this year with this field is we've sown the headlands in your standard 2-row variety, and we sowed the bulk of the field. But there's about 32 acres in the field. There's about 28 acres of it is sowed in a 4-row variety. So the head of the 4-row variety, you'll see it there. It's a bit like, it's almost like a wheat head in appearance. So yeah, there should be far more grains on every head. The grains might be a little bit smaller, but there's more grains, and in theory it should yield better. But we will see. As I say, it's the first time we've used it. It was all supposed to be sown in the 4-row variety, but we weren't sure on the setting of the sow. We set it at what we thought it was going to be, but we seen as we got around the field we weren't going to have enough, and we said, right, we can cut it back or just sow away at whatever it does, and we'll finish it off then in your standard 2-row. And that's what we done. We had extra seed, 2-row seed variety left over, so we finished it out at the rate, and then for next year, if we sow it again, or the end of this year, if we sow it again, we know that we have to cut it back another bit. So it's a bit of a learning process on that front, but looks like it's going to yield well enough. The one thing I do notice, which is a bit of a pain, is the deep ruts that is still here from that awful spring, that awful winter and awful spring when we started coming out to do some of the fertilising and spraying earlier in the year. So there's going to be a reminder of that, and we'll be turning the sod over again and get it ploughed away. There is a couple of wee bits of wild oats in it. There's a couple of bits here. There's a bit here, and I've seen a couple of other bits down further in the field. I could see them off the tractor, but it's not going to bother us that much. We'd be feeding this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. If there's a few bits of oats through it, makes no odds. But yeah, doing well, coming in fast. About a week or so with a bit of dry weather, and we'll be ready to cut. Harvest will have begun, so something to look forward to. Anyway, on to the next job. Alright, so on to the next job. Now, do you think that they may know what's going on? We're going to move them into new pasture. We've been able to hold them for the week that we had planned to, which is great. We put 6 bales down with them to hold them where they are. So I'll hook this out without getting stung by that nettle. Yeah, so we were able to hold them for the week, and we're going to let them into some fresh pasture here. They don't half know what's going on. That's the last 2. So plenty of picking here for them, which will do them, I suppose, about, I'd say it'll get about a week here in this field easily. Some nice grass on it, and that'll keep them happy. Heads are all down straight away. Yeah, so we were able to hold them for, as I was saying, I set them out because once they wanted to move, that was it. They knew exactly what was going on. Once they seen me coming I drove across the few fields here in the Jeep, so they knew exactly what was happening. Yeah, but once we were able to keep them bales with them for the last week or so, we put 6 bales with them. The first 2 bales done 2 days, and then they slowed back a little bit because there was still a bit of grass there, and I suppose with the fresh grass, or they have grass there to pick at, they'll eat that. So yeah, they were walking away at the bales. The first 2 bales done 2 days, the second bales done 3 days, and the third set of bales then done another 3 days. And here we are now, a week later, moved, and some happy cows out and grazing. So as I say, that'll do them for at least a week, and we'll see after that. We're going to look at the grass and see how it's getting on in these other fields, because it has done well over the last week. Alright, so just before we pull out onto the road, you can see we have some lovely grass here now. So in the last week, this has greened up a lot. From where it was, it's taken up even more so in the bottom. And yeah, if it gets another week now, we'll have a lovely bank of grass built up in front of the cows, which is what we want. This is the whole reason for trying to hold the cows back for those number of days, was to be able to get, just let the grass build up. The field that they're in now, as I said, should get about 10 days in it. They'll get to here, they'll get probably 4 or 5 days here, and then when they're finished here, they'll be across the road, and they could get it up to maybe 10 days in it as well. And that allows the other fields then to all recover. So we're just not under as much pressure grass wise as we were a week ago. So, and that's what we wanted. Plenty of rain, plenty of heat at the minute. Grass growth is good. So yeah, it's building up a little bit of grass in front, and that's what we want, because grass growth is going to slow down, or will be slowing down now at this stage. So yeah, we're going to have a quick look at the silage ground as well, because I'm not overly happy with how some of that is doing. Alright, so as I mentioned, there's one of our silage fields here. We're not just that happy with how it's doing. It was slurried and fertilised soon after it was cut, but with all the dry weather, the grass has shot out, stemmed out, headed out earlier than what we would have liked. Now there is a bit of a soil of grass now starting to come on the bottom of it, but it is going to affect the quality of it a little bit, which there's not much we can do about it at this stage. But yeah, it may dictate when we cut the grass. We may have to cut it a little bit earlier than what we would have liked and would have planned. But yeah, that's one field. We'll go look at the other field now while we're on the road. Alright, so at field number 2, now it has shot out a little bit, even from when I last seen it. It's probably 4 or 5 days ago, and you can see it's just starting to shoot out across the top of it. But there's a lot more green, a lot more lush grass in this than the previous field, which it's mostly all down to just the grass varieties. It's 2 totally different grass varieties in the 2 fields. And the other field's grass must be just more susceptible to shooting out in that drier weather or warmer temperatures. But yeah, a lot of leafy looking grass in this, and looks like it could be a nicer crop to cut. But yeah, we'll keep a tight eye on it and just see how it all fares. Alright, so the last part of this video, we are going to have a look at our reared calves. So we've been rearing calves for the last 4 years roughly. We were rearing calves longer than that, but we used to be Frisian calves, but we stopped then for a couple of years, and we're doing it now just in a smaller way. We have 50 suckler calves, and we rear roughly 25 calves to go with them, and it just gives you a nice little batch then coming on together of weanlings. They go in in the autumn time. We winter them inside. They get out then next spring, and they're a nice batch then that goes together out for grazing next year. So it's just the way it works out. It's what we have space for. Probably would like to rear some more, but we're limited enough with space. It's all we've got space for. If we're going to have more, either some of the sucklers would have to go, or have less beef. So there's a trade-off there at the minute. We just excuse me, it's just what we have space for. But yeah, nice batch of calves. These ones are on off the milk, and they're now just on meal, and they're eating grass as well. They've moved on to that, which is good to see. At the minute, the meal that we're giving them is they're on calf nuts. We're giving them some of our own homegrown barley, and they're on distillers. So the distillers has only been introduced the last day or so, so they're leaving a wee bit of it in the bottom of the trough still, but give them another few days and they'll be licking it clean. Eventually, the plan is we'll wean them off the calf nuts, and they'll just be getting their own barley and the distillers going forward. The calves themselves, you can see they're a mix of dairy cross bred calves, and yeah, we're buying them off the one men for the last number of years, and they've been working out well. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button. Also, if you can, ring the little bell, just gives you a notification every time I post a video. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or any comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I do try to get back to everybody, but if I don't, I do read them. And yeah, all these interactions help the channel, and they're very much appreciated. No videos for the next, probably until the middle of next week, because I'm heading away actually for this weekend, going to the British Grand Prix, so looking forward to going away for a few days. So yeah, not be any videos unless I do maybe a bit of a vlog of the time away. So I'll see. If you want me to do that, maybe drop a comment in the comment section telling me to do that. I'll take the gear with me, and you never know, maybe I might do that and we'll stick a video up Sunday evening on that, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you possibly at the weekend, if not early next week. Take care, have a good weekend, see you then.